Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 12 of IXION. Let me start off by wishing those of you who actually celebrated a very Merry Christmas. This is going to be coming out on the day of Christmas Eve, so have a good Christmas. It also means that on the 25th and 26th I am not doing any videos. Then the videos on IXION and other games will continue after. Now, we are still in this sector with the destroyed Amund... Sorry. I looked it up. It's supposedly a Tower of Babylon. The Tower of Babel. So it is named after something real, or something that used to be real. There's still plenty to research, not only the ones that are currently outside of this weather effect, but also the rest of the parts of the ship. The docking bay, habitation sector, medical district, depressurized R&D district. Lots of science to pick up, lots of things to do. First we're going to have a look at the reactor wreckage and vacuum up the science there. When it comes to my own science, I just completed the accelerated growth, which means my farms are going to be running a bit more efficiently. That's really nice to have. When it comes to the farm upgrade, I need the intelligent design to further increase production speed, because I was... Okay. I believe I was working towards getting more out of my mess hall, was it? What was I doing? Something needed an upgrade. Yeah, here. One food can feed 50% more crew members per meal. So you're getting a lot more out of your food. In order to get that, we're going to need to upgrade the farm to another tier, if you will, which is intelligent design. And after that, I can go to the mess hall here, and I can upgrade to stellar cuisine. So I could queue that up, but it's not allowing me to because I don't have the prerequisite unlocked yet. So, what is going on with the industrial zone wreckage? Inside the capsules were toys and other day items. This is the time capsule that we opened. Several objects were of unknown purpose. There was a packet of newspaper clippings that revealed some of what happened after the TIQQUN first entered self-similar space. See, this is what I was looking for. I want to know what happened when I left with the TIQQUN, when I jumped. There was a total collapse of Earth's ecosystems, accelerated by the moon's destruction. In response, the United Nations installed a totalitarian government of planetary surveillance to protect the population from eco-terrorists and continuous waves of pandemics. They prioritized corporate practices that supported the environment and its preservation. Corporate practices? Okay. Individual responsibility seems to have been paramount. Numerous legal ramifications were implemented to counter any further acceleration of ecosystem destruction. In this time of crisis and guided by the government, society seems to have turned on politicians, extremists, immigrants, and conspiracy theorists. Well, that's refreshing. One after the other, they portrayed them as possible scapegoats, holding them responsible for 250 years of industrialization, market disruption, superficial societal practice, moral decay, and hyper-consumerism. The Etymanankey was to be the Great Ark, the global project that would save humanity. Only those deemed well-behaved, in the eyes of the government would be allowed on board. The Ashtongites, fanatics of mysticism and proponents of genetic manipulation, were left behind on Earth, with the deviants and dissidents. Huh. Okay, I get 45 science and I get self-cleaning lubricants upgrade. We're gonna now leave the wreckage of the industrial zone. So, what does that do? Sorry, it was the waste center, right? Waste treatment. Self-cleaning lubricants. Power cost reduction by 5. Not bad. I just need everything else first. I do get quite a bit of science out of this. Alloy development. 13 iron is now 15 alloy. Yes, please. Power cost reduction by 2. Panel purification. 10 iron to 15 alloy. Huh, I'm going to queue this one up as well. Okay, what is next on the menu? We're still looking into the reactor. The professor is doing that. The rat is going to vacuum up the 45 there. Then we're going to go to some of these planets. Is Croc P38. And Croc P42 still have something to share. So let's continue. We got 500 ice. We need to... What? I need to awaken 2,000 cryonic pods?
Is being overworked.
And how exactly do you expect me to fix that? We're gonna need more food here in this sector, dude. Let's make that 80. This is potentially my biggest sector? Yeah, 790 people live in there. This thing can feed 700 crew members, and I have 2 of them, so it should be fine. It's just that apparently we missed one of the cycles. And that is ticking some of the people off. I understand. There is a lot of iron being brought into the dock, and I pretty much can't store it anymore. So I'm also going to have to work on fixing some of my storage issues. And that is what I kind of ended with over here. We got 450 crew members and 530 houses. I do believe I have a shortage of workers. Wow. By 140. That's fun. I got way too many workers. I should have transferred non-essential personnel here. Right. Okay, time to open up another sector. I was planning on this in the previous episode. I'm going to do it now to ensure that I have that living space. Because I'm going to have to awaken 2,000 cryonic pods. Which is probably going to take a long time.
Has occurred in the TIQQUN.
Long time. Reactor wreckage. The other part.
A new request awaits your attention.
The engine supervision area was mainly occupied by those of rank. Some had time to enter cryonic pods before the apparent depressurization of the area. Analysis of remaining computer infrastructure indicates that their directives were merciless towards the engine room workers. They treated them as expendable outcasts. Wow. There are traces throughout the entire supervisory district of hacking attempts. All computers dedicated to the engines and reactors were compromised, preventing the Atamananki from maneuvering and causing power failures throughout the superstructure. The professor's team has managed to extract remnants of the computer protocol that were used to do this. These fragments of code point to an author, the BMS, the Black Market Society. Relevant data has been sent to the TIQQUN's tech lab for more detailed analysis. 50 science, 168 cryopods. Let's finish up with investigating the thruster systems and see what we can find from there. There is a lot of room that I'm going to need. How many cryonic pods are available for vacuum? For acquiring? 700. Almost 800. Yeah, we're going to need a lot more. A lot more. We now have data to analyze the Piranesi hacking protocols. The associated research project can be launched in the tech lab. It allows us at our computer protection systems to reduce their impact of any digital attacks. Cool. Let's do that right after we do everything else. I'm also, once again, running very close to my maximum power consumption. 548 for 551. It's uncomfortably close. And considering that I'm going to be opening up another sector, yeah, that's going to lead to all sorts of fun, I suppose. I would also very much appreciate a greater income of silicon. So we're going to prioritize silicon over iron. Deprioritize carbon because there isn't any anyway. And do I have a probe? I do have a probe. Tell me, is there any silicon around here? That's hydrogen, carbon. This is a nice spot, but not what I'm looking for. Silicon, please. Yeah, there is some here. Because I'm going to need quite a few more electronic parts. That's not bad. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. There. Okay, so the rat is done in the industrial wreckage. Let's send it over to P42. And is this coming online yet? No, we still await the additional electronics. We have 4 in the station, 1 is over there. 2 in this sector, 2 in this sector. Yeah, we just need more. It's really straightforward, we just need more. 25 silicon now produces 1 electronic, so this is also nice to have. Because it means I'm just going to be running more efficient, and I can do that again. Oh, there's so many good upgrades that I want. So many good upgrades. Now, some of my ships are starting to run into this fairly dangerous weather event. And I'd hate to have to spend a bunch of polymers in order to buy new ships. So that is yet another bit of research that I would like. The survivability of my mining ships. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this first. Iron right now is in such massive supply that I'm not concerned about iron, but I am concerned about my mining ships.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Okay, science ship's completed. Get the science from here.
A probe has completed its
There is still some stuff to pick up there.
A ship has been destroyed by
See? That's what I was worried about. Ships getting blown up because they don't survive well enough inside the area here. So now I am going to have to spend those silicons. Oh, sorry, well, this stuff anyway. Polymers in order to build a new ship. As for my habitability here... what do I have in Sector 1? A whole bunch of non-workers. Yeah, if I can open up this new sector, I'll be able to build a whole bunch of housing, essentially, there. Ship out all the people I don't need, so all the non-workers in one. Make sure that I get a few more storages. And with that, ship over the iron and carbon that I have here back to 1. I mean, there's no shortage. Both of these storages are completely full. It's just that I can do better. And this thing's probably going to drop off even more, but the docking bay is pretty much full. 10% faster. Yeah. So much to get, so much to get, so much to get. Reactor wreckage. What's the deal here? The Etamananki seemed capable of achieving 2 different types of propulsion. The intra-system mode of propulsion has many similarities to Dolos EKP. Cross-referencing mission data reveals a number of matches to the encounter near Saturn during the TIQQUN's initial test phase. Their inter-system propulsion covers many of the basic operations of the Vol engine. Our team has noted the remains of numerous accreditation areas. Access to and knowledge of the propulsion modes seem to have been strictly regulated. The 2 reactors were damaged at the same time as the larger superstructure, and our analysis has revealed traces of gluon particles. I don't know. I don't like this. Stop moving the weather. Oh! Okay, so the weather is shifting from there to here. It's not expanding, it's shifting. And that means eventually I can pack up all my science stuff, all my ships, and I can just go there without having either the TIQQUN or my ships destroyed. At least such is the plan. Alright, what's going on here? It is eligible for colonization testing. We've landed on P42. The planet is bathed in toxic yellow haze, which severely reduces visibility. First measurements have recorded trace amounts of oxygen in the planet's atmosphere. We've also noted the presence of a few species of bacteria on the shores of Mada, one of P42's cyanide oceans. Why would you want to live here? I can set up a small colony. Working in tandem with the TIQQUN's tech lab, extensive physiological and psychological evaluations are conducted within local environments, providing them invaluable field data. Yeah. Okay. Also about half the alloys that I have. And about 1/5 of my food. I should not have a shortage of colonists, because I was kind of prepared for this. Yeah, let's go for this. Special objective for Hermes. We're just going to send out a colony there. It seems like another awful place to live. It's really not appealing. But, well, for science, we're going to colonize the place. Okay, we have another ship ready, right? We have the Pride here, so let's tell that to start mining silicon. Ideally not here, though. There's a lot of silicon in this area, but it's also under threat. So I'm not exactly eager to send my ships in there. Yeah, this is almost done. Excellent. I also need to have the tech upgrade to prevent any hacking attempts. Oh, I need so many things. And we're still waiting for more electronics here. As for the silicon, we don't have any. So, if you guys could bring in any silicon, that'd be lovely. Pandora has that as her primary objective. So she'll be coming in with silicon. It's just that we're also mining a bunch. I hope we can still offload it. That's a bit of a question. Yeah, I should be able to. This one, I currently have this set to turn it into alloys. I think it's such a waste to turn 50 waste into, yeah, no pun intended, into one electronic. Ah. 5 extra units. Okay, 20% faster. It's just that there's so much iron in this sector. So much iron in my base that I don't feel like I need a lot of alloys quickly. Although I do need to start building a bunch of houses. So, yeah, there is something to be said for that. Fine, we're gonna stick this to alloys. It'll be okay. Okay, so what we got here. There's the Pandora, there's the whale. Where's my cargo ship? Oh, you're probably just awaiting the drop-off, right? This one's under maintenance. Where's Hermes? Hermes is loading alloys. But the problem is the dock's almost full and we got alloys here. They're just not getting dropped off. Yeah, this thing is really quite full. We're gonna have to stop picking up iron for the time being because I simply cannot stash it anymore. Yeah. Just set it all to tertiary. Not a primary objective. Okay. Let's see. The professor doesn't have another job. So let's send them over to Croc P38. And figure out what's going on there. One more electronic. It sounds weird saying one electronic. Well, let's say one electronics, I guess. One unit of. We can open up that sector and start a real big housing block.
An accident has occurred.
Docking base been damaged. This one. A few cycles later, we have completed the start of the colony. The temporary colony has been established. Again, I don't really see the benefit of living here other than the science, but hey, if there's science to be had, I'll gladly have the science. So we're gonna leave the planet. The team boarding the rat is gonna just hover. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is bad. I think it's time to move. The problem is my hull does not agree with me. If I want to move the whole TIQQUN, it's gonna take me 5 cycles. I cannot not fix the hull for 5 cycles. What I will do is bring all my ships back aboard. I wish there was a command that just said, hey, everybody come back. Because that would make it far easier to manage this thing. And make sure that you still have your templates. But sadly, I don't believe that's a feature. Again, if any of the devs happen to catch this, I'd love that as a quality of life feature. But we're just going to have to kind of do this manually. Tick off all of these things and make sure that the ships come back safely. Because the weather outside is frightful. But the TIQQUN is so delightful. Yeah, see? The pectorals has been destroyed by a space weather event. We're running at 96% efficiency. I'm going to be taking 92 from hull depletion. Yeah. If I want to survive like 4 or 5 cycles... Yeah, 4.9, 4.8, 4.9. I'm probably going to have to get a bit more hull than this. Because I believe it takes 60 to 80 damage per cycle. So that makes this really quite dangerous. The problem is there's still a whole bunch of cryopods out here. And I need to eventually awaken 2,000 cryopods. Oh, so even my probe can't make it there. Okay, cool. I'm going to tell my probes and ships in general just to avoid this stuff. Because it is really not so nice out there. I still have the other ship in orbit. This is the Professor. Our probes detected a signal originating from a chain of mountains that border an acidic ocean on P38. This is the Professor crew. We're currently in orbit of P38. The planet possesses a highly corrosive atmosphere. There'll be little room for improvisation once we touch down. We must establish a search protocol now. We do know that the signal is transmitting from beneath the mountain. Alternatively, we could focus on analyzing sample materials in order to improve our understanding of planets like P38. What sort of signal is that? Like, is that a signal from Dolos? Is that a general human distress call? Is it something from the UN? Is it something from the pirate ship, if you will, the BMS? I'm not sure. So I can probably do any of these. But I cannot do all of them. Samples is probably science. This is find a route through to the signal's origin. Or I can just bore right through it. Let's do an analysis and see what comes up. I hope I can still bring this science ship back, because I would very much appreciate that. And, oh, great. Now this thing starts to produce some. But I still have the rat in orbit, I believe. Yeah, the rat's in orbit, so the rat's going to be vacuuming up the science. I've been busy aboard the TIQQUN. Welcome to Sector 5. Sector 5 is going to be our main living area for everybody who's not a worker. So over here I have set a couple of building blocks, more so than I actually currently need. I have a population capacity of 200, but I'm only having 109 live there. And Sector 1 has more population than it can actually use. So we're going to send only non-workers from 1 to 5 and make sure that this is going to get a little bit more balanced. So let's say I want to have another 65 workers go from 1 to 5. This whole party also meant that I had to spend quite a bit of carbon/polymers in order to upgrade my energy supply, because that was turning into a bit of a problem. I also have a whole bunch of silicon, so let's turn the electronics plant back online. And, yeah, well, wait for that hull repair. Because without that, I'll not be able to safely navigate to the other side of the sector and start getting all the sweet science and more exploration from over there. So, we wait for the science party, and we wait for more opportunity to build more stuff here. I'm planning out the sector quite precisely. I want to have my supplies on this side. And, of course, I also want to start working on a stability building, this one, the DLS. It takes up a fair amount of space, and it shouldn't be that hard to build this, so I'm not that concerned. Over here I got this little room where I think I can still plunk down another pop building. Yep, and that part is going to get blocked off, but I'm not using that road anyway, I'm just using this one. So I can have yet another housing quarter over there and perfectly make use of all the space that I have on the ship.
A science ship team has completed a task.
This is the Professor crew. The signal was transmitting from an abandoned subterranean complex. By breaching it, we've unfortunately allowed the corrosive atmosphere of P38 inside. We'd estimate that the complex was built in the last 20 years. We do not recognize the iconography on its exterior. The technology inside does seem human-made, and there are signs that it was once inhabited. There is still a little time before P38's corrosive atmosphere eats through the Professor's hull and landing gear. Cool. We do not think we will be able to explore the entire site, but we have identified several places of interest. The tank room. A large room within the complex containing numerous empty tanks. They will collect residue samples and carry out technical analysis to ascertain what the tanks were used for. The command center. Maybe able to learn more about the former occupants or the field operations area. Explain what the whole purpose is of the building. You'd think you could also learn that from the command center. I want to know about the command center. Let's look into that.
Population transfer complete.
Excellent. Sector 5 has an incident. They also have a medical facility. It is only a small infirmary, and considering the number of pops that I'm expecting to at some point be housing here, it's going to be fairly ridiculous, the amount of medical buildings that I'll probably need. But then again, there aren't supposed to be that many accidents, because there aren't supposed to be that many workers here. So ideally, it'll all balance out. Ideally. Alright, let's go for the building here, so I can start with more propaganda. Stabilizing that sector, because right now it's costing me some trust, but the others like me so much that it's not really a factor. Hull integrity is 400. I'm going to go to 450 and then get a move on. And hope that I don't actually get struck by anything. Because if I get struck by something, it's GG and I will lose the TIQQUN. And my, at this point, 1,392 crew members. When it comes to cryopods, I haven't made any investments there. In fact, I've taken down the cryonic center for the reason of getting more storage here. I wanted to get all the iron stored here, and I now have 657. So still way more than I can actually use. And that's still with only one of these things functional, and I still have 590 alloys. Never thought I'd see numbers like those, but here we are. As for food production, ice production, everything is going really well. Everything seems to be going according to plan.
A science ship team has completed
Whoa!
the task.
The professor's team managed to extract an intact data drive that was still installed within the center's infrastructure. The disk was heavily encrypted and a significant percentage of its data has been corrupted. However, the data that was accessible proved very useful. The logs left behind by the center's former inhabitants are technical and precise. They suggest their authors possessed an uncommon intelligence and acute sense of self-criticism. Strangely, the organized, methodical accounts are occasionally interrupted with mysticism and spiritual remarks. These are seemingly present to justify the result of their Cartesian deductions. Okay, at any rate, that's 100 science. We do not think we'll be able to explore the entire site. Oh... I could lose the whole ship. Can I... Yeah, I'm first going to get the science. Making sure that I don't waste that. And after that, I'll make a decision. I'm very strongly leaning towards leaving, because I don't trust this thing not to melt the whole ship. Which would lose the professor. And... yeah, I'm not really interested in that. I am not really interested in that. Okay, our hull integrity is 465. I'm going to save this, because I don't trust this. If this does not work, I'm going to get kicked back to a save, but at least it'll be a save right here. So, let's get a move on. We're going to go to the medical district. There we go.
Caution. Entering stellar storm.
Oh god, we're losing a lot of hull integrity very quickly. 142 per cycle? Well, that's going to be the end of me then.
Hull integrity
162
below
per cycle.
50%.
This is not survivable. This... How am I supposed to survive this? Because at this rate, I'm going to be dead within a cycle. Is there any way that I can strengthen the hull before I take on something like this? This. I need to get this. Okay. Save's coming. Save's coming. I mean, learning from your mistakes and moving on. First get that research, saving me 10%, which... still not enough. I'm gonna have to get the hull fixed even more. Because I don't want to cut it so close that I might get there and then still die. Besides, I got all this science here. So, let's go to the hull and say I don't want to have this reduction. And I can also upgrade this, removing it by a reduction by 20%. That would probably keep me alive. So we're going to research this quickly. And in the meanwhile, decide the fate of the professor. The rat is nicely vacuuming up the science from our colony over there. My challenge will be to go to the colony with a cargo ship and bring the colonists back by the time that that's required. I think leaving is the safer choice here. So, oh. It's like every time I make a decision, something shifts. Which means I'll not spend as long in this bad weather, but it's still not pretty. 80% through research, excellent. Professor, come back. Go back to the TIQQUN. Oh, this shit again? This is not what I want.
The crew's trust in your leadership is falling.
Yeah, I understand.
Power supply overloaded.
What? Hold. I probably cannot do this because I'm outside.
A ship has been destroyed by a space weather.
There goes the professor. The weather is really god-awful.
Power
Electromagnetite. So... just move your ass. I think that's the only thing that I can do. Just move your ass. Hull TIQQUN. There. I am getting hull integrity back, slowly. I don't mind running with a few less electronics plants or power iron plants for now, that's fine. Yeah, we're getting some back per cycle, and this research should progress really quite quickly now that I have the science lab almost entirely upgraded. I still need to get this, and then that. And then I can get computing optimization, which gets me 5 science per 3 cycles. So, you get quite a bit of science that way. Hull integrity 350. There. Steel fiber patches has been unlocked. Okay, what next? Kinetic compensation jacks. Less impact, or less damage from impacts. I'm not sure what that impact's going to be. Could be like a projectile. It could be getting hit by something. I'm not sure. I know that there is one that protects the ship from impacts. Here. Destruction chance during dangerous weather conditions is reduced by 50%. So it's a chance reduction. That's not a flat fix. This is also going to help me get to where I need to go faster. And I should have enough to research both this one and the next. Ow. Oof. Meteorological event has caused damage to the station. Not good. Like I said, I don't want to stick out here in this weather for very long. It's extremely inhospitable. 80% done. Crew's trust is still really good, but my hull integrity is dropping pretty quickly as well. Okay, get the next tier. EKP. Browse tachyon injector, 30%. Okay. If I want to move now, it's going to take me 4.5 cycles or 4.4. So we're definitely not going to survive that. Come on, fix the hull. Fix the hull, fix the hull, fix the hull. There's a fire. Oh, fuck me. This thing is not functioning. Maintenance. Get me a fire station.
An accident has occurred in the TIQQUN.
That's problematic, isn't it? That's why my hull integrity is dropping. I cannot fix the hull up because...
Hull integrity.
I know. High priority on this. I've never seen a fire. So I've never had to... Oh, this is going to kill me. I've never had to do this. I've never had to build one of these. This is going to kill me. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here. Not so much with the destruction of the TIQQUN, but in the next save, or / the next episode, I'm going to reload the save, go back a bit, and make sure that we do survive. So get that research under control, make sure that all of my bays are functioning, and that I do have a fire department, and we're going to move the TIQQUN safely. Until then, I hope you have a good Christmas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon after Christmas for more episodes.